everybody seems to make a comeback in One Piece, you know, villains-wise, except Enel. So the only other person I could think of is Doflamingo. So if he hasn't been assassinated and impaled down, right, and he makes his comeback in the story, what do you think his role will be in the story if he does come back?
I just thought of the question that we talked about Luffy's Sinister Six.
Oh yeah.
I literally thought of that when you asked that. I literally thought of that.
Don't be too high up for that, man.
I know. I literally thought of that.
He is, but I feel like he would be.
I don't think he holds a grudge towards Luffy. Personally,
I don't think so either.
Like, he's out here hyped at stuff that's happening. He's interested. What his role will be? He's always had like a herald of the times kind of vibe when he's talking and speaking, talking about the new era and stuff. I think he would just be excited that like that stuff is happening now. You know, actually, if he was to come back, it would have to be in whatever the Celestial Dragon arc is, because he has key information that we still don't know. We don't know what the National Treasure is. We still don't know what that is. And he's the only person that's spoken on it. And he would now be in a position where like that information is free. I will actually say it. Like, the reason they're trying to assassinate him is that information that he has. So if he gets away, which we all assume he probably will, shout to my Virgo theory, but that would be what it is, that he would be the revealer of that, whether it's his death does it or some other way. I don't know how that'll impact him, what side he's on or fighting. Like, I don't know if he's fighting with Blue. Like, I don't see that. But I didn't see that for Crocodile either, but here we are. But it would be something involving that National Treasure for Mary Jo.
All right.
That would be.
What about you, Law?
I agree with everything Sebastian said. I'm trying to think of like his mindset, because how high he thinks he is. That depends on where he's gonna move, because he could do something like what Aokiji was doing, wandering. But I kind of feel like he's a person that kind of like establishes things and works underground, has his hands in everything. If he still kept that attitude, he's gonna. I don't know if he's gonna. I doubt he's gonna go back to that kingdom, you know. But he may try to start his own kingdom somewhere else, or he may try to establish something and then, like I said, then probably work to go towards what Sebastian was saying either. But I see him always a person that establishes something, be it underground or anything at all. So that's pretty much what he would be trying to do, I believe.
All right. What about you, Lai?
I'm not sure, honestly. I honestly just think probably because, again, establishing, like, for instance, that's a lot of work. Like, we saw what Doflamingo had to do for years to get where he was at. And, like, for me, honestly, I think he probably just go after the Garusei and Aim. Like, if he has knowledge of it, like, try to take that over or something. Like, either, I don't know if he's going to be by himself, like, because he doesn't have his crew anymore, mostly, or his family. If some people survive or are still loyal to him. But I think he would probably just go after the secret that he's been keeping and probably try to take out Aim and the Garusei.
I just thought of something. I mean, maybe not because of his history, but with Doflamingo, he's like a tentative risk taker. Like, I want to be secure so I'm not dying, but I do want to take something over, right? I could see him allying with even the revolutionaries and giving them that information about the National Treasure or whatever to get more people on that side. Because he's going to be like, yo, F the Celestial Dragons. Like, that's the goal, is getting them out of there. Whether I have to outlast Kaido or outlast Dragon or outlast Luffy, the goal is still to be on the top of that throne. But pitting people against each other and making them fight is his whole MO. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I could see, I just don't see Dragon sheltering Doflamingo for information.
I have a very dark imagination. So the way I thought about it was maybe instead of them coming down to Impel Down and he was like, yo, they're coming to assassinate me, I think they take him to where he is experimented on by Dr. Vegapunk. And, you know, next time we see him, you remember Aizen in Bleach where they, like, put him on a chair and he couldn't move? And, like, he was, like, covered in certain areas so he couldn't, you know, start attacking anybody because he's just too dangerous. I was thinking that, they probably show him, like, armless and, like, legless. Like, and Vegapunk has experimented on him to the point where, like, you kind of feel bad for Dofi. But ultimately, he's probably in
Still smiling.
This is super dark because he's probably still smiling because of how chaotic what he's experienced happens to be sort of a pleasure for him. But he's probably guarding the treasure that he was talking about. And like, in a weird sense, like he's like the dragon before the treasure. And it's like kind of messed up the way I'm thinking about it, because it makes the story really good and it gives him a purpose that like is against his will, but it also doesn't let him shine too much to where we got to worry about him again. Mm-hmm. It's more like he's like Mecha Frieza. but like he's like kind of lost his mind even further, so he doesn't have those kingly ambitions anymore. It's just like, I'm psychotic, because that's really what we love about Doflamingo. It's like the Joker and the Carnage. It's like he's just full of chaos, and he's just like, it's just expanded even further just because he's like all these experiments.
So he's like force spamming his awakening in threads and stuff, and like you guarding the treasure or something.
Yeah.
That's fire, bro. Shout out to Larry.
It's like Kuma was subordinate. He was submissive, where they're like, this guy's gonna do anything and everything he wants to do as long as he guards the treasure. We don't care. And like the celestial dragons make that happen. So he's kind of like a slave, like a celestial dragon turned slave. I was like, when I thought of this, I was like, yo, what the hell's wrong with me? I was like, why would I think about something like this and find pleasure?
I like that
already
though.
Dark mangas.
I like that. Because I remember that Aizen scene. Even though I didn't read Bleach, I read that like.
And you know what's crazy? That one scene is just like, I don't know. It's like very iconic to see Aizen sitting there because he was so powerful at one point. And I hope Dofi follows that trend a little bit, but in a different sense. I think